Hi there, this is HDpolarbear bringing you game number 2 between Idra, the famous and infamous Idra, and Nazgul, part of Team Liquid. And of course, we now know that Nazgul just owned Idra in game number 1 on Metalopolis with his Blink Stalker tactic. And this map will be played on Scrap Station, and let's look forward to the standard 14 heads into 14 pool from Idra. This is fairly standard for him to do and fairly economic beginning. So let's see if he does that indeed. And here we see Nazgul going for this pylon, chrono boosting out probably 3 probes or maybe just 2, and going for the gateway. Of course, I do believe that Idra was the favorite to win in this best of 3, but Nazgul has surprised many people and taking the first the first game in best of 3 and besting Idra on Metalopolis. And Idra moving in with his overlord, just scouting what's going on, if anything. And Idra did actually, I think he won MLG in DC. And correct me if I'm if I'm wrong there. So we see that Nazgul is using his chrono boosts like there is no tomorrow, getting his first gas now, and another pylon at the front ramp of his main, and we will probably see cybernetics going down right about now, and he will probably then chrono boost out a couple of stalkers or zealots or something like that. Good placement of this overlord, just keeping them at good scouting locations, and yes, this was the main reason probably to get his overlord right across the enemy base, just to get him here so he can get the speed upgrade and sooner or later check out what the Protoss player is doing. I'm not sure if this was a 14 pool, no, I mean a 14 hatchery, but I do believe this was a 14 hatchery, at least a 15, and a spawning pool here. So fairly standard beginning for any Zerg player today, and many Zerg player opt to go for Roach play because the roaches are just a good unit to get. And we will probably see a couple of queens getting laid down, yes, a couple of queens here, and a couple of probably scouting circlings, yes. And what will Idra do with his 100 gas? Will he get the metabolic boost, or will he go for lair? This will be he's going for the metabolic boost, so it's a fairly good upgrade to get for any Zerg player. So we see that it seems Nazgul is using his similar opening to game number 1. He's relying, I hope he's not relying on the same tactic. Idra is far too good of a player to fall in the same trap twice. And the stalkers here coming out, and will they catch this? Yes, they are going to kill this lone circling here, and there's just a blood splatter on the ground. And will they catch the second one? He's just trying to get away as fast as he can, and metabolic, there are still 40 seconds until that completes, and oh, the circling does not get into the base. A good reaction here for Nazgul, building this pylon here and then cancelling it just to prevent any additional scouting. But as always, let's look what the Idra sees. He actually sees everything, so he knows 2 gateways probably into Robo or something like that. He might be guessing, and actually the Protoss player sees nothing. That's not a good idea. I'm not sure if he even scouted with his probe. This is not something we see pro players do often, failing to scout. He probably has a valid reason for that. But let's see what the units are. 18 circlings and 7 stalkers. 22 circlings with Metabolic. He is going for some early aggression. Idra is going to answer this Stalker strategy with a bunch of circlings. 32 circlings now, and actually Nazgul is just going for the exact same strategy as he went for game number 1. He is counting on that Idra is consistent and going for the same thing, and he's trying to finish this quickly using what he knows, the blink stalkers, and as we know, he is a good he knows how to use these stalkers, he knows how to use the blink. And let's see how Idra reacts to this. He has a lot of circlings, and actually the placement of the circling is great. He can get a surround, and that is actually what he failed to get in game number 1. And let's move let's see the surround. Is the surround going to happen? Yes, there is going to be a surround, and these stalkers have no chance anymore. The Hydras do so much damage, and let's see, these stalkers are just going to get picked off and not being able to reinforce them quickly enough and moving and running away this time around. Idra certainly knows how to counter this stalker blink tactic, but he did fall into that trap in game number 1. So let's hope for him to recover and win this game, so we will see an exciting game number 3. But let's not count the Protoss player out of this yet, even though he suffered heavy losses there. And is he going to move in with these 8 stalkers here? I don't believe that's a good idea, but picking off the creep tumor, always a good idea too. But look at this heavy and good numbers of Hydras and Lings, and actually the Protoss player needs he needs either High Templars or he actually has the Twilight Council, so the best tactic is to rush into High Templars, or he might try to get for Colossus, but it's probably not a good idea. These Hydras just own these stalkers. What is Liquid Nazgul doing here? He really cannot address this army at the moment. These stalkers are going to get owned by these Hydras, and he is reinforcing like there's no tomorrow. And the Lynx, if they can get into actually there's a heavy wall here, and the Lynx will not easily penetrate this wall, but the Hydras will help them out and do what needed. But there one brave Zealot going in for the kill, but actually it doesn't manage to kill anything. And here we see Nazgul using this blink tactic, but so many links in the game, and Nazgul does GG out of this game. That's what you get for going for the same tactic twice in a row. You really need to be more versatile in your gameplay. Idra quickly responded and did exactly the right unit composition to deal with those stalkers. And as you can see, Nazgul just hasn't scouted anything. There's nothing. I mean, if he saw those Hydras or the Hydralisk, then he might have done something about it and went for some wise unit choice. But this was somehow a high-level player failed to scout. There must be a reason. But let's move on to game number 3. This is going to be an exciting best of 3. And who do you root for? We will soon see who comes out victorious. So let's move on to game number 3.